Hello and welcome to the patch notes. I'm normally focused on just Genji, Volta, and Yuri and stuff that affects everyone, but I haven't seen anybody do a beta 2 version of covering the beta. So I'm going to briefly cover everything, give my thoughts if I have any thoughts of it. But with this being a beta, this isn't the final version. They're just testing out what might work, what should change again. So there could be more betas. Hopefully that they're just testing some things out and restabilizing the code to prepare it for the release version for everybody to see. So with that in mind, we will make our way down the beta notes. So beta is now available on Mac and Linux. So if you have one of those operating systems and you have beta access, by all means feel free to come in and test. I don't think there's as many people beta testing as there has been. Well, I think the Kickstarter was more than a year ago, and once you pledged enough, you were granted beta access. It used to be just a select amount of people, but not as many people play the game anymore who played back then. Just for whatever reasons, school, or they don't like the game, how it's balanced. Multitude of reasons. I wonder if the game should be open beta, because there's not a lot of feedback being given. And, well, they want feedback, they need people to test it. And you can't really just, hey, test our game, give us $50. That's not how betas work. It doesn't work for every game. I don't know. It seems a little silly. If you want more people to test your game, give them beta access. Alright. Na, Raylan, and Ayla are now available right from the start and don't have to get unlocked anymore. Good. I don't like the lock system. I think it's silly for a game that you have to pay for. That sounds crazy, right? That everything is locked. If it was a free-to-play game, I wouldn't really have a concern because, oh, okay, it's making me go through this progression to justify playing the game for free. But where I pay for the game, yeah, theoretically, it's a lot cheaper than to have to buy each character individually. I just don't like how everything is locked, especially half the items for every character from the start. It just feels really silly, and trying to keep up with what level an item is unlocked, it changes all the time with the levels getting higher and higher and higher. The grinding takes longer and longer and longer to do. So I don't think it's worthwhile doing all this grinding. Prestiging isn't worthwhile because it's not like some games where you have an avatar and you unlock an icon saying for like killed 500 Leons or things like that. Like, I think Loda has that system. I think Awesomenauts could use something like that, but I'm just brainstorming here. I don't like the prestige system. I don't like the lock system. I don't think it works for a pay-to-play game. Maybe something could work better. If the game can slowly branch away from having a lot of things locked from the beginning, it would be a lot less boring for new players, because new players just want to play Ayla. So that does help with that. It's a step. Thank you. Moving onwards. So the Solo Crab Burger has been moved ahead in the utility slot. It's actually more to the left, and that's a big deal. So they're giving Solo Crab Burgers to more characters, and they're testing that out. It's 100 Solar all around, it appears, even for Voltar. However, there are some bugs, so I can't really critique the Solar Crab Burgers right now. Once the beta's done, I'll give my full criticism of everything. I'm just telling what it is and kind of giving my speculation of things. Okay, moving onwards. The Genji bot has been removed from the game. That's a lie. He's still in the game. So whoever was supposed to do that did not do that. So if they do beta 3, well, the reason why they removed him was that he's just not on par with the other bots, because the other bots get updated quite frequently. And the Genji bot, just needs to be tweaked a little bit. So until he gets a new and improved version, you may not see him in the release version. Fixed the freeze issue where some users were experiencing startup where the game freezes. I think it still happens, but if the game freezes when you're trying to start or quit the game, just Alt-Tab and do that, okay? Global chat has been further worked on. I can't really give thoughts on global chat because whenever I download the beta, that's when people start asking me to play with them. So that means I have to move the beta into a different folder. which means that Steam doesn't recognize the beta as a Steam game. I had to re-download 2.7 and do that, so I'm not complaining. It's just I can't get my thoughts on the beta because the beta has to be labeled as a Steam game to be hooked up to the chat servers or however that works. So let's see, AI modding, there's some more options available. It seems to be giving some more realistic gaming, so the Raylan bot may be better tweaked so it doesn't lock on like a robot. Kind of makes it more believable how it works. So the bots have been really improving. Like every patch they get better and better. I really have to commend the bot makers for all the work they're doing, because I think it's just volunteer work too. Like it's just from the community. So you guys are doing a really good job, and it's only getting better. So good work on you guys. Okay, so there's some testing, more testing with the Wraith Stone. So they're testing out some characters will have the Wraith Stone as it is as a beta 2, and some characters will have the Zork's Barrier. Now what that is, they tested this in 2.7 when they replaced the Solar Tree. 2.7 beta was you had a shield that blocked 200 damage, but then it would break and it wouldn't reactivate until you went to the shop, and it would instantly replenish itself. In 2.8 beta 2, it's passive, which means you can always block it's actually a percentage now. It's either 5% or 10%. So it's basically the anti-Starstorm statue, which gives 5 or 10% more damage. So that could be interesting, especially if it can mesh well with the selected characters. So there's that. So it's actually 110 solar per stage. So it depends. A lot of people just use pills, boots, and piggy bank. I try to avoid using piggy bank if I have a counter to worry about. I get regen if there's a Nah on the other team, if I can't heal myself very well or often enough, or if there's someone who has really good crowd control, for example Scoop, then I'll get the baby carrying mammoth just to make it less of a problem, or someone who might be a problem like a Clunk, Snare, and Slow, or someone who has Silence, reduce the time for that. Because piggy bank can be lazy and it can take up a spot which might be crucial for something else. So don't rule it out. Give the items a try if you have beta, and if not, just go into practice mode. Give it a try to see if you like it or not. But I can understand why people might not use it. Yeah, it depends. It just blocks the percentage though. So people who have the Wraith Stone is currently Froggy G, Leon, Penny, Ted, and Vinny and Spike. They get more health from critters, which appears to be, I think it's 200, isn't it? And people who have the Zork Barrier is Clunk, Coco, Durple, Genji, Lone Star, Scoop, Sentry, Scaldier, Scree, Swiggins, and Voltar. I'm not sure why Ted has the Wraith Stone, because I think he had Shield, so wouldn't the Zork's Barrier benefit him better? I don't know. So yeah, if you have some thoughts on the beta, feel free to go into forums. Preferably if you have beta access, because you can't really critique something that you don't have hands-on footage, that you don't have hands-on. So we'll see. For Raylan, the drone that you can summon from your time rift. So once you die, it will die 5 seconds after you. So it's gonna be more rare to get a kill after death, that kind of thing. I'm not sure why, because it doesn't seem to be affecting Genji at all, but Genji can use his more often. I think Raylan can only summon one at a time, or something like that. Whereas you can see in the video, I can just convert droids for my cause. So there's that. So Swiggins. While recalling his anchor, Swiggins is no longer stunned, which means he can still move around while he's using abilities. It's just that he can't use other abilities. Ted has the same thing. While using Stim Pack, Ted is no longer stunned. So stunned meaning you can't move. You currently can in the new beta. So there's that. Well, a lot of people just jump in the air to counter that movement penalty. Because if you use it on the ground, you have to stop, and then you might be put into a bad spot. Genji has the same thing. If he uses his Monarch Blessing on the ground, he can't move for that time being. It's not like he keeps walking while he does his prayer. A lot of people just jump in the air and do that, and just negates that movement penalty. So, not quite noticeable, but it might prevent a bad spot from happening. Voltar. Hyperdrive, second stage now works again. So apparently, that's the attack speed upgrade for the suicide drones. Apparently that wasn't working. I didn't quite notice. Or maybe I'm just losing my mind. Now let's see. Yuri, Wravestone replaced with Solar Crabburger. So that could work, because Wravestone, Yuri could just lay mines in the jungle, and he could put in extra time, and whenever critter dies, he would get that extra health. So instead of the critters, it's going to be if he kills droids or if he collects money, he will get some health back. So it's 50 health per coin. So it's not like a silver or a gold piece of solar. Heals the same, it appears to be, because a gold solar is 5 solar. So it's not like you get 250 health back. You still just get 50. I think it's just for balancing reasons. So it's 50 health per coin. So if you kill a turret and or someone dies and there's solar laying around, if you collect that, you'll get a lot of health back. I think it works quite well if you're going for if you're focusing more on killing droids. So it could work out well with Yuri, but I have to test it out more. There's some bugs with the Solar Crabburger because it's not working in this beta. So I don't want to critique it right now. Once the beta's done, I'll go all out on the support in Voltar. So those are changes for Beta 2. If you want to see all the changes for Beta 1, there's a couple other people who at least showcased them. I did coverage on Genji, Voltar, and Yuri. Yuri doesn't have these changes, but he's got some changes in this beta, so that's cool. So yeah, there's a lot of bugs in the beta, so if you do have beta access, please come in and help out. I'm trying to make this beta, trying to find as many bugs as possible, just trying to make this game, well, just trying to make the patch as smooth and polished for release. So looking forward to that, because for bugs, well, you can see in the map in the corner, it's not even showing up. That's a bug. There's a lot of bugs in the game. So the sooner we can find them and get them called out to developers, the sooner we can move on to the next beta or move on to 2.8. So the sooner we can get everything ironed out, we can either move on to new things to test out or move on to 2.8 release version. So that was me talking for a little while, and I was just playing with bots in this match. The bots have been getting better. So yeah, if there's a beta 3, I'll do some coverage on that. Either just do a focus or cover everybody. But I didn't do a patch notes for 2.7 because I didn't know how I felt about 2.7, because that was a big change. I didn't really feel opinionated. Some people hated it, some people didn't care. If I got something to say about 2.8, I'll make a video about that. Okay? Okay. So that's all for now. Thanks very much for watching.